too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. What was I thinking, babe? All the mistakes I made. I should've never left your side. When you were there for me, you set my worries free. Now I got to change my mind. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. La 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 la
Here with Elf, ready to bring you the Group B matches of the Ciestomedia Rocket League Challenge. This is a 1v1 tournament held in Namibia by our close friends there, and they are wanting to showcase the talents. You know, we get to see so much of the South African talents, and talking about South African talents, here is Elf. Elf, how are you doing for tonight?
I'm doing fantastic with the Ulturism, and speaking of talents, I'm quite curious to see what's going on in the Namibian scene, as we haven't seen a lot of them. I know in previous DGL seasons there were some of the teams there from the Namibia, I think 1 or 2 teams, but other than that I haven't seen a lot of them. So I'm quite curious to see, especially in a 1v1 scenario, what's going to happen. And I don't know any of these players except for a player that actually won yesterday in the Group A. I think he's Arcanum's captain, Pora7. I've played a few times with him. I know he's pretty potent, but I don't know any players in Group B.
So we already have our one player from Group A who went through last night and will be playing in the semi-finals tomorrow. The second one will come from tonight. We have 3 players lined up for us tonight. Foamy, Forstart and Mav all ready tonight to earn their place in the semi-finals tomorrow. They will face off against Pora, and the winner of that will go on to our host to face the host of our tournament, Mr. SBOQS. I'm really hoping that there's a shorter way to pronounce that for tomorrow. But he is the one who has put up 5,000 Namibian dollars for this tournament. Anyone who can beat him in the finals gets to take that money home. So there is a lot to play for here in this tournament. And we're going to get ready with our first game. It's going to be Foamy versus Forstart in a 1v1 tournament here on the South African servers. This is brilliant for these guys because, you know, 1v1s is all about, you know, small little reactions. You've got to make sure that you don't mess up at all. Here we see Forstart with his Rick and Morty themed car going at it for the beginning of this match.
And it looks like a decent kickoff by both them. No one really actually won in Forstart. Looking to get the first goal, but just nearly misses the ball there. And Foamy now having to capitalize probably. Let's see what's going to happen here as this ball's gently rolling up the wall. Forstart. Is it Forstart? It seems like.
Four start it is indeed, and Foamy does a good bit of defensive there. You know, four start just not able to pull it back in time for his dribble to work out. Now he's managed to pick up the middle boost. Foamy lets the ball slide down a little bit too softly to him. Four start pushes it to the left-hand side of the field to make sure that it gets out of the way, and he takes the shot. Foamy not able to get the angle there, not able to come up quickly enough, and we have our first goal in this Group B round face-off here in the Ciestomedia Rocket League Challenge.
Especially in the group stages of Group B, I think these players are taking it slow now, trying to feel each other out. And as it always, a 1v1 game is such a game that it can be so slow, but it can also be so fast. But Four Start actually winning the kickoff and puts in another quick goal in succession. Only not even a minute past.
It's like you say, you know, Rocket League, 1v1 Rocket League is the most amazing variations in pace. You got to feel each other out. You do not want to make a mistake, because you know, one bad mistake and you leave a goal completely open. There's no one behind you there to come and face and really cover you. So you need to make sure it's right. But if you do get a good opportunity, you have to take it so fast. And that's when you see this blistering pace from a lot of these players who can just turn it around very, very quickly. As Foamy now pushes it towards the center, Four Start managing to get across just in time. Foamy not landing nicely on his wheels after his hit off the wall there, so not able to make it count. But now Four Start looking to go on the offensive again. Pushes it a bit to the center. Foamy now manages to pick it up, and Four Start has to do a bit of backtracking. Foamy pushes it into the corner, bounces up high, and he's going to want to take a shot now. Decides to go back, probably trying to get that boost, but not able to get it. Now he's only got 6 boost. Managed to put it down into the center. Tries to come around, but it doesn't have the boost. Missing that boost pad. Seeming to be devastatingly bad for him at this stage of the tournament, considering he's already 2 goals down.
Actually, Four Star managed to bump Foamy out of the way when he had no boost. I think he could have got the angle there, but it just was bumped out of the way and had no shot at the end of the day. But it does seem that Four Star is the more aggressive player of the two at this stage. And another shot comes in from as it just pops it over Foamy's head, puts in another goal. And just before halftime.
So just before halftime, like you say, 3 goals to the side of Four Start. I don't even have to say the side of anymore, because it's just a 1v1 in this stage. So Four Start takes the lead 3-0 with 2 minutes down. Foamy now going ahead for the slightly slower kickoff. Four Start waiting for him. Oh, and he denies the boost to Foamy. Now he takes the second one. So Foamy's gonna have a lot of work to do here. Oh, and then
what
he goes
a savage
for the
bump.
Doesn't manage to get enough pace on it to knock him out of the goals or get the demo. It's such a good technique that to go for the demos at 1v1, because, you know, if you take the one guy out, then you literally do have an open goal. Foamy going on the offensive now, only with 10 boost, and manages to actually get it over. Four Start getting himself caught up on that wall there and getting pretty much lost it, losing it there in front of an open goal, with Foamy not having to do too much afterwards.
Foamy had a nice touch of the wall, putting itself in front of nets, and Four Start had to slow it down a bit just to get in front of the ball there and cover his net, but he thought the shot's going to come much quicker than it did and ended up overcommitting himself. And now what a save from him there, driving into the ball. He now has an open net as Foamy missed it, but Four Start will look to play it slow, puts it into the post and gently tucks it in. 4-1 is the score. Quick succession after that goal that Foamy scored.
You probably feel that he was a little bit frustrated by that and wants to make sure that he keeps that lead going. You know, 3 or 4 goals in 1v1 is where you start getting comfortable. 1 or 2 goals in 1v1 is just a mistake away. It can be anything from a bad kickoff to a missed boost pad that we've already seen come to haunt Foamy tonight. So, you know, 3 goals is pretty much your bare minimum for where you want to be. And now we see Four Start going again on the aggressive. Foamy doesn't get back in time. Four Start manages to get his lead even wider.
Indeed, it seemed like Foamy had a little bit of hiccup there in the midfield where when you flip, the car turned sideways and he slowed down and killed all his pace to get back. And unfortunate for him, but well played by Four Start. Now he has a 5-1 lead and only 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. He seems to be quite in control of this game, to say the least. Oh, lucky touch from Foamy. Tried to backflip that onto the backboard, it seems.
It was a nice pass to the center there from Four Start, I must admit. He was ready to follow it up afterwards, but he didn't really need to. Foamy was just trying to do anything he could to get the ball out at that point, and just managed to get it just the wrong way, just a little bit.
Just a tad to the wrong way, and now we have Fermi backtracking there, but a shot missed there from Forstad. That's a better shot onto the right post. Now it is an open net and gently tucks it in. 7-1 Brazil it is.
Fermi just let it go there in the beginning. He didn't have a lot of boost, and when he missed that dribble, he messed it up slightly and ended up overshooting the ball. It just left the ball in no man's land, and Forstad has been very, very good about making sure that whenever there's an open ball or a couple of free seconds, he goes for the boost very, very well and manages to shut it down before it becomes a problem. And he seems to always be having the boost advantage over Fermi. Yeah, he does knock Fermi through the ball, but see, he goes back, he makes sure that he takes a little bit of time, gets some boost, and now just pops very nice and gently over Fermi. Fermi now doesn't have any boost and is trying to come back, but instead cannot get the angle to come around and shut that off. Forstad puts in his 8th goal of the match.
Forstad actually looking for Fermi, wanted to bump him away. He's getting so creative now that he's got such a big lead. He really wants to do something interesting here, it seems.
At this point, you really can start trying all the interesting goals, though. When you've got a 7-goal lead and there's just over a minute left, you don't expect to lose it. Forstad puts it out into the center, and Fermi misses this, leaving it open in the center, and Forstad makes no mistake again. Just that boost, that extra bit of boost, allows him to get to the ball before his opponents and puts in the long shot from his side of the field.
That could always almost be seen as a volleyball shot as he took it from his side, as you said. Quite interesting that could have been if they had a 1v1 volleyball match, eh?
Oh, that would be my favorite version of Rocket League, I must admit. I love hoops. I love all the funny games, and this latest map of the anniversary was a lot of fun, and I still play it more than anything else. So it would be nice to have some more sports coming out. Volleyball would certainly be a good way to test your aerial ability, as Forstad puts in the 10th goal for himself now. Gets that second prodigy coming through. And Fermi must start feeling a little bit hard done by here by a couple of his mistakes, really coming back to haunt him.
And now we have another kickoff here. Forstad winning this one as well. Does have an open net, and does seem he has got the boost, but Fermi actually made it back in time for this one. He now has an open goal opportunity. Will he manage to take it? That's the question. He actually gets this one past Forstad as he tries to go up the wall, but there's the demo, the first demo of the match, and Forstad was trying to force it. Oh, the second one as he spawned. What a savage he was. This is the creative plays I was talking about.
You can see he even feels guilty about it, putting the sorry there into chat, just knowing that the first one was a good tactical move, but the second one was a little bit unnecessary. So the ball touches down, and we have our winner of our first game so far in this best of 3 between Forstad and Fermi. Forstad definitely coming out the victor there with a clear 9-goal victory over Fermi. 10-1 is the goal. 12 shots by the side by Forstad, only 2 coming out by Fermi. So it'll be interesting to see if Fermi can pull it back for the second game, and if there is something, sitting behind the wings waiting for us.
Yes, indeed, and I don't know, it seems like Forstad really in control of this game, as you mentioned there. 12 shots with only 2 being 1 wide and 1 actually being saved. So definitely to see, it would be interesting to see if Fermi can come back and take this to a game 3. But it does seem, if you just look at these 2 players, that Fermi indeed is the lesser skilled player, but definitely has shown potential. So every now and then, when he does have that opportunity, he just struggles to capitalize on that open nets when Forstad leaves net.
It's like you say, Forstad is definitely the mechanically more sound player, but Fermi, I am actually enjoying watching him play. He knows what he needs to do. He knows where he needs to be. That is a great shot from him. Forstad being forced to come across, and Fermi having a shot in an open net there, but not managing to get it. And this is what I was going to start talking about, is Fermi knows what he has to do. He knows where the ball needs to go, and he takes a great shot towards the center now, actually managing to put that in the middle of the net and getting his Batmobile Wonderful goal explosion coming out there. Great shot, and he is in the lead for the first time.
For the first time during this series, best of 3. And he is in the lead after 30 seconds. And now we do have another kickoff. Foamy actually wins this one. He will manage to take the boost. Now let's see if he can make something of this. His force start is there at the back. Foamy is trying to push it slowly. He manages to get it to the center. Will he manage to put this one in? But no, he's bumped away by force start. As force start is now taking this one up the wall. Puts it to the center for himself. He has no boost, so he won't be able to go for this though. And Foamy capitalizes on it and he puts this one in. Dead center, makes no mistake.
You can see as Forstar took it up the wall there, he was picturing to come down onto that boost in the middle of the field, but Foamy on his rotation back manages to sneak that one out from underneath him. And then he has all the boosts that Forstar cannot take a shot, manages to use his extra bit of boost, come and shut down the dribble of Forstar, and puts in a second goal. He's doing very well in the second game here, considering the huge deficit that we ended the first game on.
Indeed, now we see Forstar on the attack this time. He wanted to go for that demo on Foamy once again. Now Foamy in control, hits the ball away from himself. Forstar looking to fake this one out, and he actually managed to force Foamy into it. But Foamy gets another goal after Forstar actually misreads his own touch.
Just didn't get that off the corner, that bounce right, and ended up turning a bit too soon. Could have given himself a bit of space, did Forstar, but he comes in nicely, and you know, he did very, very well in the first game, and he certainly proved he could put a lot of goals into the back of the net. So maybe he just wants to slow it down himself, or you know, make sure he's got those touches above the mechanically less skilled player. So, you know, he doesn't have to rush this. He doesn't have to. He can just wait for Foamy to make some mistakes. Yeah, instead he goes for the demo. Foamy's up in the air already, though, and is looking to put this long. Slows it down, doesn't have a huge amount of boost, but rolls it gently along the wall, manages to pick up some boost, and leaves it to Forstar, saying, you know, here's the ball, what can you do with it? And actually gets dunked down. Forstar putting it into the corner, and reading it off the backboard, it trickles into the bottom right-hand corner, and Forstar brings one back in this match.
As you said there, Foamy giving the ball there to Forstar, asking himself, what can you do, my friend? And he actually just responded and say, I can do this, I can score some goals if you give it to me.
So 2 minutes down, and still a 2-goal lead for Foamy. He puts this high, it bounces down, isn't going to be straight on the goals, and Forstar does a little bit of a check there, manages to actually get the boost and puts Foamy in a bad position in the corner, meaning that the ball bouncing towards the center of the goals has got no chance of being stopped. A really good touch where Foamy was coming in for the attack, and Forstar read it well and set him, you know, tumbling into that corner, which he couldn't get out of in time.
It does seem like Forstar is really trying to force bumps, trying to force the demos, and just doing more creative stuff at this stage, even though he's not in the lead. And it does seem like Foamy's going to pick up another goal again. 2-0 or 4-2 the score. I wanted to say 2, deficit of 2. But there's Foamy picking up a nice one after that brilliant kickoff, just winning it. But there's still, the game is not done, only halfway through, not even. And Forstar really still a more mechanically skilled player, probably just taking it slow. And we see him winning the kickoff. He does have an open net, probably going to put this one to the side and bumps it all the way to the other side of the map.
Did pick up the boost that Foamy now is struggling behind, and Foamy's got 30 boost, but that's not a lot when it comes, unless your opponent misses the ball in front of an open net, leaves it bouncing slowly across for Foamy to pick up at his leisure.
That's very unfortunate, but Foamy capitalized well, and he is there, putting in another goal, taking him up to a 3-goal lead, and now we have another kickoff. And let's see, Foamy's been doing well on the kickoffs during this match, but Forstar actually won this one. He puts this one on net, and Foamy not able to get the touch to put it on the post and out. And Forstar now creeping closer, now the lead only being 2.
Forstar's very good at reading those balls off the wall. You know, Foamy has to take a little bit longer, give himself a little bit more space. So, you know, if Forstar keeps doing that, he keeps putting it onto the wall or something, he does have the advantage. Now the ball is going very, very high, and he does have the boost above Foamy. puts it very, very high, coming down. And he does manage to put it to the right-hand side of Foamy. And manages to actually get himself within one goal of taking this first game of our Group B.
And as you said, he's much better than at reading the wall plays. And there again, he puts it up high onto the backboard, waits for it, and then just punches it through for a goal. And Foamy going to flick this one over. That's what you get if you wait at the back of your nets, waiting for the shot, Mr. Forstad.
Forstad has tried that a couple of times now, and it's come away unscathed every time. You know, it's a strategy that often works against players that rush, but Foamy has the presence of mind to just sit back a little bit, try and dribble it up instead of just booting it to his opponent who's waiting in net. So Foamy tried 2 or 3 times before, didn't manage to get anything out, but this time it's come out and he's managed to get himself back his 2-goal lead. He has not gotten back in time though, and Forstad managing to put it down the center of the goals and getting himself back to that 1 goal.
Now we can also see the beauty of 1v1s. The game is never over regardless of your scoreline. As you said earlier in game 1, we had a 4-1 lead at one stage and we said even though he's dominating, the game's not done yet. And now we see the comeback, and now after that brilliant kickoff we have a tie game.
It's amazing though, considering the first game was 10-1 to the side of Forstad, that it's amazing that Foamy's held this lead for so long. I mean, he's still very much in this game. It can go either way from now. And what do you think has changed in his play style between the first and the second game for it to make this much of a difference?
Oh, what a good shot there. But I think Foamy bumped Forstad a little bit and he couldn't get the shot on net. And now Forstad still on the aggressive. He does manage to put the ball to the side. He doesn't have a lot of boost. Gonna wait for Foamy to commit to this and try and hit this to the side, but Foamy attacked this much quicker. And now just gonna play this one slow. Foamy is there, trying to pick it up, and Forstad actually has a little bit of a misread. Foamy wanted to capitalize but also missed it. Doesn't really have boost to get back, and Forstad puts this one in to actually take the lead for the first time during this game. And
this is something that Foamy really needs to start watching when he's playing 1v1, is the amount of boost he's got, because this is the second, third or fourth time that he has really been caught out on the other side of the field with no boost whatsoever. Sometimes it's better to just, you know, let the possession go, pop it into your opponent's corner, give yourself another 10 seconds or so. And here, he's going up on the wall with no boost. He just manages to sneak it out from inside of Forstad. But if that had come down the wrong place, like this, he's now left himself on the other side of the field. It's very difficult to make a shot go from the top corners of your opponent's net, you know, to bring it back down. You have to be able to air dribble or at least do a double touch aerial. And he just can't do it. And instead he puts himself out of position, drops it down in front of Forstad, and Forstad manages to get himself now a 2-goal lead.
So there we have Foamy again trying to get that ball in the net after Forstad tried his sneaky little kickoff tactic, and unfortunately for Foamy trying to do the half flip there and just not managing it, and unfortunately for him the car got a little bit stuck there between a rock and a hard place, and an easy goal for Forstad.
3 goals now is the difference between these two players. Forstad, if he manages to hold on to this at all in the next 40 seconds, will have won the first game of our Group B. It is only a best of 3. Now he's looking to make this lead even more. You can see Foamy giving up there, jumps off the wall and holds himself in the air with that. Forstad just getting the better of the 50-50 there, slowing it down slightly, sending Foamy careening up the wall. And Forstad just manages to trail it into the goals.
And now once again a kickoff. Now we have a goal deficit of 4. Foamy losing this kickoff. Forstad is just patiently waiting to put this one in. 6-11 in favor of Forstad. I think Forstad has been winning kickoffs left, right and center.
At least half of his goals tonight have come from kickoffs, I would say, at least. With him just managing to read well if he should be going for boost or going for just a shot, and getting himself into a nice position to do a little bit of a redirect or anything like that. Wins this one again. Ball's dropping down to the center. He gives himself a bit of space, jumps up. Fomi is nowhere to be seen, and he now doubles the score of the man who was leading at earlier.
Start doing a little bit of circles there before going for the shot. I think he might have been looking for Fomi, wanted to take the bump or the demo, just to add a little bit of spice, you know, before ending this game. And another win, kickoff win for him. Quickly grabs the boost, and he is up for this one and tucks in another goal with 10 seconds remaining.
Manages to do very well, getting the boost and getting a very good idea of where the ball is coming down. Fomi tries very hard there to get it. He was very close, actually, you know, jumping for that. If he had managed to get a touch, then he would have beaten, and Forstad could have gone into the wrong position, being caught in the goal line while Fomi got it out. But here we see another ball going to bounce slowly but surely into the blue goals. Fomi not even trying. The two cars stop and watch the fireworks. 2 seconds left, and the final score. Will we get another goal in 2 seconds, or are we going to end this match at a 14-6 victory?
Well, Forstad has been having great luck and great skill with his kickoff, so we might be able to see one last kickoff goal here. Let's see. Oh, this one is dead center, and nothing's going to happen from this one. Well played from both these players. We're now going to head off to the next game in a few minutes. I think if I have a little bit of a reflection in this game, I think Fomi just had to pick up the pace and hit those open nets. Forstad had so many times where he committed and might have had a slight mistouch or whatever, and Fomi should have just capitalized, which he didn't manage to do at the end. But other than that, he played well.
Fomi did very nicely, and you can see a lot of talent in him. He's got a very good perception of the game, and he knows what he has to do. The man only has 280 hours in Rocket League now. So, you know, we all start somewhere, and I think that there's a bright future coming in for Fomi. Has a lot of skill, just needs to make sure that he can hit those open balls and make it count when it does. So, guys, we will be right back in a couple of minutes with our next game. It is going to be Fomi is going to be playing again, and versus the unseen Mav. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. What was I thinking, babe? All the mistakes I made. I should've never left your side. When you were there for me, you set my worries free. Now I got to change my mind. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
And we're back, guys. Welcome back tonight to our wonderful 1v1 Namibian Rocket League tournament brought to you by Ciestomedia. We've just seen our first game between Foamy and Forstart. And Forstart managing to come out with convincing wins in both of the games. Foamy just letting himself down a little bit in the mechanics department. It's going to be interesting to see how good Mav is and how he matches up. If he can exploit all of those missing shots there by Foamy. Mav managing to get a good shot in the beginning. Tonight, I am, of course, joined by the wonderful Elf. You are watching on his stream, and Mav gets the first goal. Elf, how are you doing? Are you excited for this game?
I'm still well and wonderful as in the previous game, and we have a goal in the first 6 seconds. How can I not be excited, Mr. Ulturism?
And Mav obviously has the pizza there. You gotta love a man who enjoys a good bit of pizza there. So, you know, I think I like Mav so far going into this match just because of the fact that 6 seconds in he manages to get a goal. Nice trap here, putting it off the wall from Foamy. Just trapping it down to the center and then making no mistake when he pushes this into the back of the net.
Definitely, and now also realizing, watching Mav play made me think a bit, and I'm actually thinking, as he also had a shout out to Pora, who actually won last night's Group A games. Mav definitely is also a teammate of Pora, and which means they both play for Arcanum, which were the DJL team I talked about earlier. And now we have Mav. You can see him already doing a lot of good boost management here, trying to bait out Foamy. Now going in for the tackle. Foamy actually wins the 50-50, but again, he doesn't have boost. As we said countless times now, he has to work on that boost management game. Well, Mav now has the open net to shoot for. Gonna fake it out, but Foamy has none of that. As Mav does put this one high and over Foamy's head. And another goal for Mav. 3-0. Only 50 seconds into this game.
Mav has a very, very nice, slow, methodical approach that you need to have for 1v1s. Just from the first couple of goals we've seen is he hits the ball to the center. If he's got the chance, he'll follow it up. But if he knows that there's nothing there for him, if he knows that Foamy's going to get to it first, he just backs it up. Make sure that he's not giving any easy goals to Foamy. Now puts a nice shot to the lung, towards the goals, but Foamy is there, gets a shot. Mav now trying to reverse dribble this in. Manages to pinch it and then does get the reverse goal going into the back of the net. What a play by him.
He just gently took this one. Little pop there. Just go for the 50-50 in reverse, because why not? And then does the backflip into the net. Well done by him. But that 50-50 was quite interesting though. Just saying, like, I'm not really in position to take this head on. I'll just take it with my butt. And Fermi now wins the 50-50 on kickoff, taking his first goal of this match and also the series.
Not sure what this little flop backflip thing that Mav was doing, probably trying to slow him down a little bit. But it means that Foamy does get the height on him, it just rolls it over the back of the car into Mav's net.
Interesting here as we now have Mav winning this kickoff. This ball is going towards the net and Foamy just stops. He's like, I don't have the boost to get back, so I'll just watch the ball go into my net gently as Mav tucks it in.
Nice play by Mav, managing to get his goal back. Now starting to sit at that very comfortable 4-goal lead with still, what, 3/4 of the match roughly to go?
Indeed, as Mav does manage to get this one. Plays it slowly, waiting for Foamy to commit. Foamy is not really interested in committing to this. He's waiting for it. Now he commits and Mav takes the 50-50. And with that he punches it up onto the backboard. Goes and collects some boost as Foamy drives underneath the ball. Again with no boost at all as Mav collected both backside boost from Foamy. Mav is just wasting time at this stage. He's waiting for Foamy to commit to the ball. But as we can see, Foamy is not coming up for this. He's like just patiently waiting at the back. He knows Mav is currently playing with him.
It's interesting to see Foamy not really utilizing these simple boost pads. You know, everyone forgets about the little floor ones. They just go for the ones in the corners. And there, Mav actually puts it beautifully into the corner himself, talking about those. Reads it as Foamy tries to go up the wall. He just puts it around him, drops it to himself, and just leaves it to trickle in. That is cruel.
What a savage Mav is. As another kickoff is coming away now. And that one is actually won by Foamy. He will go to pick up the boost. Now he does have a short opportunity here. As Mav actually manages to miss the boost. I won't say pick it up, but he missed it. And Foamy once again gets the 50-50. Has 40 boost. But put this one up high in favor of Mav. And Mav does realize this and he goes up for this one already. Looking for the backboard touch there. Oh, Foamy almost got the save, but 7-1 is the score. We've got another Brazil against Foamy.
Really good play this by Mav. You know, knows that he's got a bit of extra positioning, but knows that he doesn't have the time to let the ball just drop gently down. So he gets up and he actually manages to read the backboard read at a good angle. Puts it into just below the crossbar, and one of the best goals probably that we've seen so far tonight.
Indeed, definitely agree with one of the best goals tonight. As Mav is just taking this one ever so gently, making it 8-1. And once again we see Foamy committed there after the kickoff, and he was just like, I don't have boost to get back. There's no way I'm getting this. I'll just chill here at the back and watch you score, Mr. Mav.
Foamy makes good challenges, but you know, I can see him being quite a good 2s or 3s player, especially because he makes good challenges. But you know, when he's made that challenge, it sometimes takes him a little bit of time to recover. Doesn't hit the ball perfectly cleanly, and that sort of thing is what really separates a guy with 200 hours from someone like Mav, who probably has around 800, 900 hours. So you know, you can see the different levels of them, but it doesn't mean Foamy's not a good player. He still has a lot of good instincts, but just needs now the extra couple of 100 hours, which give you the practice that you need to play well. Now Foamy's boost has been stolen. He's going for the backboard. Does miss the backboard, unfortunately, which means he's now left as the ball bounces over his head. Does get it nicely off that signpost though, and puts it out. But again, 11 boost. He has to get this. Goes out for it. Doesn't make it, and Mav puts it into the right-hand side. 9-1 is the scoreline.
Foamy once again left with absolutely no boost. That was literally the last boost he had, trying to reach that ball. Really needs to focus on the boost management there. Even picking up the little 12 pads, it really helps a lot, especially in 1v1s where you are not You are the only man on the field. You cannot go for the big boost every time. Pick up the small boost pads and keep your presence known to the other player.
You know, it's amazing how quickly those boost pads add up. You know, if you're coming from your opponent's nets, you can easily hit, what, about 5, 6 of those boost pads without losing really any speed. And, you know, 5 boost pads is 60 boost. If you're coming back starting with 10 or 20, you have nearly a full boost canister without having to now go around the outside of the field. And it's really useful for making sure that you get back and can still do aerial saves or something like that if you need. It's really underutilized by some of the newer players.
Exactly. Everybody's always so focused on the big boost pads. You have that 100 boost mentality and they end up giving away position or not putting your presence enough. And oh, nice 50-50 there by Foamy, but once again, no boost. Has managed to pick up the full 100 boost pad this time round and leaves Mav with enough space to get the center for himself, as Foamy will try to drive into this ball. A little bit of boosting from him as he tries to dribble this one forward. Mav just going for the 50-50. Now he has an open net, but Foamy oh, Mav is being savage as he just bumps him out of the way. He says, listen here, Foamy, I don't like that you're getting this close to my net. I'm just gonna push you away.
He chases him across half the field, making sure that he can't do anything. And poor Foamy is left reversing as fast as he can, trying desperately not to get demolition by the crazy Maverick that we have here tonight. 10-1, the same scoreline that was in the first game between Foamy and Forstart comes towards the favor of Mav here as we go into our second game with the best of 3.
Second game is coming up indeed, and Foamy, I just can't get this out of my mind how he just ran away from Maverick there at the end.
Oh, that was wonderful. So if you guys are just joining us, my name is Ulturism. I'm joining Elf on his channel here as we bring you the Namibian 1v1 tournament brought to you by Ciestomedia. We are currently commentating on the Group B matches. The first one was a bit of a one-sided showdown between Foamy and Forstart, where Forstart managed to take that 2-0. We have now one game going the way of Mav here, managing to pick that up quite convincingly with a 10-1 victory as he leaves it open for Foamy. How does Foamy keep doing this? Loses 10-1 in the first game and then manages to put a goal in himself in the first couple of minutes here. First couple of seconds, in fact, against Mav.
Mav misreading the little touch there from the wall. And now this time around he will be looking to get that kickoff goal as he is so known for. Slows this one down, wins it. Going to pick up the corner boost. Will he do some shenanigans from the wall? He's leaving it a while and now takes an easy shot at net. I was considering waiting for that aerial touch and he waited for the ball to rather come down much lower than I expected him to wait for it.
He knows where his opponent is though, and you know, he still hasn't seen him come past that left-hand side, so he knows that he can wait for it a bit lower and, you know, get a slightly easier touch on it. When you start trying to do the aerials, anything more than a single or double jump, and Foamy gets himself another kickoff goal to bring himself back into the lead here. Gets it just up and follows it nicely. Mav not managing to get his quick launch jump to get to the top of the nets in time. Good shot there by Foamy.
And Mav also taking his time there, just waiting at the back of the net. He wanted Foamy to hit this towards him so he could just pop it back over his head. But as we know, oh, Foamy this time getting to the ball very quickly. Gonna pick up the boost pad. Having that 100 boost is always a good feeling. And now Mav does have scoring opportunity onto this open net. He does manage to leave that one to roll into the right hand bottom corner. Almost thought he's going to try and turtle this one.
It does seem like something that Mav would do after watching him in that last game, but I think he was still just a little bit worried about Foamy coming in from the left-hand side, so he just jumps to the left, managing to body block if Foamy was coming through there. And, you know, he knows that he doesn't have to hit the ball in to get it in again. This time he will. He just waits very slowly. Foamy not even going to try, and Mav playing with him now. Leaves the ball in front of the goal and challenges Foamy to come and get it back.
Foamy totally resigned to this one, just doing little turtle spins there on his head. He's saying, no, 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 no. I lost the kickoff. You can take the goal. I'm going to go get some boost just to feel better about this. And please put it in. Please let it in. There's 3 minutes 55 remaining. Please let it in.
Foamy has too much pride and dignity there to fall for the games of Mav. Mav winning this kickoff now, pushing it to the corner, manages to pick up the 100 boost and pops it down towards the center. This one Foamy will want to challenge. Does very well. Is going to pick up that 100 boost on the left, and Mav has to pick this up now. Oh, does manage to bait out Foamy. Foamy gets a good touch, but Mav is still going the right direction. Foamy manages to overtake him. Now it's going to be up to Mav to get the dribble. Doesn't. Foamy shuts it down, puts it into the opposite corner himself, and now wants to push this into the center.
Foamy leaving that one for Mav. We saw the previous time when Foamy left the ball for the other competitors what happened, and oh, Mav going for the savage bumping plays again. Will we see another chase around the court? That's the question I have on my mind at this stage.
I'm sensing a lot more aggression and commitment and dedication from Foamy in this match. You know, he's going for the balls that he can. Look at that. Manages to get a lovely save, reads it perfectly, and now Mav's going for the reverse goal again. He just loves that. He knows he doesn't have to turn around. He's just waiting for Foamy to commit to one direction, and then pop and up.
Unfortunately for Foamy, brilliant save first hand. Mav was just there, able to body block back, giving himself position, and then Foamy struggled to recover there in net. Always difficult when you're challenged and you know, you hit that back post or the back of your net and you bounce out of it. You have got absolutely no control over your back of the car. Even in champ levels, people still struggle having control of your car after bumping off a wall or from the back post, and you only really see the pros having full control about of the cars in that situation.
Still something I struggle with all the time. There I go, skidding across the roof or the walls or something like that when I missed it. Mav now putting another goal in, just making sure he's got those 3 goals on the side. You know, he doesn't want to mess around, and we have seen a couple of people come back from the 2-3 or 2-4 deficits to come back and win it, and especially in 1v1. So Mav just, you know, securing his place in the playoffs tonight, and he will be going in to face 4-star there. It's going to be very interesting to see how those two face off against each other.
Indeed. At this stage I feel Mav might have a quicker playstyle than 4-star, but we haven't seen 4-star really being challenged. So as you said, we've got quite an interesting matchup between the two. And now we have Mav for that hard, quick shot at net. Rather going to take this one slower, take a dribble. Foamy will try to pick up the 100 boost. Tries to get around so he can also attempt to dribble, but Mav comes in and denies him once again. Foamy does have a shot at net, but Mav decides to intervene. And he does get the bump on Foamy. He's kicking him around again, but decides to leave him to go and get the ball this time around.
It's brilliant. Foamy going there with a pretty decent flick attempt at the goals. Mav sitting back waiting for it. Foamy doesn't manage to get it in. Mav's gone for a couple of these dribbles tonight. None of them have really paid off for him, and you know, he likes to play the slightly slower, more controlled play of his, but he actually hasn't done very well on his dribbles, never really getting good control enough to get off a good flick past any defender. So it's going to be interesting to see how he faces if he tries to do those against a good player like 4-star, and if 4-star just waits for the dribble to go wrong, you know, Mav could find himself in trouble. Now it does come out very well, managing to drag this boosting under the ball.
Oh, Mr. Ulturism, you know that caster's curse where you say one thing and the opposite happens. Mav's struggling. He was struggling to dribble. He can't dribble this. How could he possibly dribble this and pop this over Foamy's head? And he says, listen here, Mr. Ulturism caster, this is exactly how one does this.
I just like to push players, you know. You got to challenge them a little bit. Oh, the devastating demolition coming out from Mav. And now Foamy is coming across, does make the save. Mav going for the turtle goal. And now is stuck without some boost. So Foamy actually does take a shot across. Mav does very well. That's the power of picking up those little small boost pads that we were talking about earlier, is just managing to get, you know, enough in the tank And of course, Mav is going to dribble another one into it, just as I say. Oh no.
Foamy
Foamy's
once
is just
again.
waiting.
He knows that one is Mav's goal. Is just score. There's no way I'm saving this. Just go score, please.
A lot of good human playing here by these two players tonight. Foamy just understanding when he's been beaten and giving the respect to the other player, going, no, I'm not going to even bother trying.
You've got this, bro. Now Mav going to look to push another one in. 8-2 is the score line here with 7 seconds remaining. And I think it's safe to say Mav does have this one in the bag.
Probably yes. Foamy will be out after this match. Good play to him. It's so nice. You know, I remember when I was starting in Rocket League, there were a couple of tournaments around, and when I was sitting at 200-300 hours, I was sitting, you know, around gold level. And I wouldn't enter a lot of these tournaments. There were a lot of these guys that were a lot better than me. And I was nervous to enter any of those tournaments. So I've got to give a lot of respect to Foamy coming in with 280 hours on his accounts, and really coming in and giving these big boys a little bit of a run for their money here and there.
Indeed, and just showing the commitment from him and just saying, listen, boys, I'm here to play. And it's always a good experience for new players to see the level that they can reach eventually if they just keep on grinding. So hopefully Foamy has learned a lot about 1v1s during this session where he had just 2 games against 2 players that's a bit more mechanically skilled. And yeah, hoping for him to see a lot of good things coming from Foamy in the future. And up for the next game, we have Mav vs 4-Start, and I think this is going to be a cracker of a game. This is also going to decide the winner of Pool B, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. This is our last game for the night. It is going to be determining who goes through to face Pora tomorrow in the finals. That'll kick off at about 7 o'clock tomorrow night, guys. So don't miss that. It will be here. And we will definitely want to see who can come out to challenge Spox, is how it's pronounced apparently. Spox, who has put up this challenge of 5,000 Namibian dollars. We'll be right back, guys, while we set up the next game. Don't go anywhere. It is our last game of the night. It is 4-Start versus Mav. The loser goes home. The winner goes through to tomorrow. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise. Things went wrong. What was I thinking, babe? All the mistakes I made. I should've never left your side. When you were there for me, you set my worries free. Now I got to change my mind. I'm coming home.
back. We have our final game here tonight in this Namibian 1v1 brought to you by Ciestomedia. 4-star versus Mav. Both of these guys took pretty convincing wins over poor Foamy, the silver player who came in to try his luck here tonight. 4-star and Mav have to bring out the big guns. Both of them have shown a lot of skill in the previous matches, and they have to play it now. Everything's on the line for them because the loser of this match does not make it through to the semifinals tomorrow. The winner will be going through to play against Pora 07. Tonight, I still have the wonderful Elf. I'm pretty sure he's still doing well. Elf, are you still doing well?
I'm still doing well for the past hour, Mr. Ulturism. I'm just waiting for this game to kick off so we can see some cracking 1v1 games and see the decider between 4-star and Mav. And I'm pretty sure that Pora might be sitting in the chat there and just like, who's gonna be my challenger?
Should be interesting to see now as we have our kickoff going. 4-star and Mav going very aggressive, popping it up quickly. Mav being left without boost, now forced to retreat. 4-star comes in, chips it, does get a nice flick over him, but does put it wide. Not able to do anything, and the two of them go out for it now. Mav trying to chase after it, doesn't have the boost though.
Picks up the boost now, also trying to looking to deny the corner boost from 4-star, as we do see him only having 33 boost there available. Mav taking this over, gets the bump on him. Will he be able to capitalize on the bump, as he doesn't have any boost, 4-star, but he manages to get this one over. Had a little bit of boost left in the tank. Now he scores absolutely nothing. He will be forced to retreat here or just hang around. But Mav seems to have this under control, but he almost got beaten there by 4-star, as he misreads this play. Of course, now puts this ball up into the corner. And Mav denying the boost there. Now 50-50 comes out from Mav, actually winning it. Is he going to read this or put a hard shot? No, he slows this down, as we've seen him done a couple of times tonight. Likes to slow down and play a lot more than his opponents.
4-star we have seen bringing out a couple of aggressive plays already in this match, and his match against Foamy was characterized by a couple of good demolitions, you know, sometimes leaving it to trickle in, instead overtaking the ball. Mav now being left with no boost. Nice double touch by 4-star, does manage to make the save. Now Mav is left in the corner. 4-star has a good touch over it, puts it to the side, manages to pop it to the center. He's going to try to get it over Mav. Mav doing very well to come across and does take possession of the ball.
Trying to go for the long shot there. You see, in essence, these two players really equal to skill at this stage, but I can see from, I think they just need to take their opportunities a bit better. Oh, and now, as I said, 4-star is pushing Mav out of the way, but again, there's no incentive for him pushing him away. There's no one to score if he's the only guy on the pitch.
Mav puts a nice shot to the right hand side there. 4-star just doing enough, and you can see these guys are so aware of the boost and how risky it is to go for bad plays here. You know, neither of them is really going all in on any of these plays. Mav now takes a nice shot up. 4-star may be in trouble to come back, does come blistering through the side though. Puts it into the center, is looking for the long shot, needs one more touch, gets a good one, but puts it wide.
Mav now going to look for a long shot to the corner. If he managed to put that on net, might have been a bit risky, but ooh, what a bends there by 4-star. Now Mav, no boost, trying to make it back, beelining it on the center line. And 4-star looking for that demo plays.
He has pinched it out into the center though. Mav does have 40 boost. 4-star a very aggressive player, but he's got a very good eye for it and knows where to go. Now he's overextended though. Mav chips it up very nice and high. And 4-star, I'm surprised he didn't go for the demo though. We know he's not against it, but here he's definitely beaten, and he slows down trying to get to the ball and realizes too late that Mav is beaten, and Mav takes the lead 3 minutes into this game before our first goal, each of which of the other games had at least 10 goals in the game. So a very low scoring game from these two.
Now Mav trying to go for that shot there on net. 4-star having the 100 boost. Will look to get a good shot down. He does have an open net opportunity. If he can shoot now, he does get a good shot. Mav managing to get there in time. And now he has an open net as 4-star is trying to rush back. Will Mav go for the demo play or a bump play, but he decides against it. just trying to bait out Forstad to make a move, and he actually managed to bait him out quite nicely.
Now Forstar does have it on him though, manages to push it over his back and jams that boost button down. Mav just not really getting a good touch that first time, and Mav actually gives Forstar a little bit of a bump into the ball, puts it in the top left-hand corner. The scores are level. These two are incredibly evenly matched.
Indeed, and here we have a brilliant kickoff here from Forstar as he puts this one in quick succession. Takes the lead over Mav, who will win this. 1 minute 15 left in the match. After, what, about 3 minutes of no goals? Now we got 3 goals in less than 2 minutes.
It's amazing. Forstar there showing again his prowess and ability to read the ball as it's coming down from a height. You know, he's very good off the walls, and there he just showed he's pretty good at reading it off the ceiling as well. So managing to get that. Mav now puts a nice long shot. Is going to be wide though. Does get a second touch, puts it over the goals, and now Forstar has the boost advantage. He's going to be putting it down, and Forstar manages to take this to a 3-1 lead after going down. It seemed that first goal was just, you know, unkegged. Unstopped the keg, and is now just leaking goals everywhere for the side for Forstar.
Forstar makes no mistake, punishing Mav for overextending there. Going to pick up boost while he had nothing to go for, and now Mav winning the kickoff. Let's see if he can get the corner boost as well, trying to bait out his opponent. Will he go for a fake? Oh, he just misses the shot. Now there's very little boost left in the tank. Managed to get a bump on Mav as well. Will he be able to get this shot? As it's going to be a tricky one. Gets it. Oh, what a save from Mav.
Well, Forstar goes for the corner boost instead of going back for it, and realizes his mistake. Didn't realize that Mav was going to recover so well. Comes off that backboard, uses every bit of boost he's got to touch this, and now Forstar getting a little bit greedy there with only 30 seconds left on the board, and Mav manages to pull one back.
Yeah, that's the one thing about ones. You have to manage your boost. If you go for a corner boost or side boost, you have to know you are either in possession of the ball or have enough space to do so. If you go for it when it's not your time to go for it, you're gonna get punished.
And Mav manages to level it up in the last 30 seconds, managing to come back here. Forstar losing a bit of control there on that ball, going for the dribble, but not managing to get it past the 50-50 of Mav, who came out, popped it into the center, and just used the bit of boost he had now to slot it down. 15 seconds left. We may go to overtime, but this is 1v1s. Anything can happen. Even a kickoff goal that trickles towards the corner.
Mav was probably thinking that's going in, so he left it to go in. But Forstar was like, no, I'm not going to let this go in my watch. And might this one go in? No, Forstar is not going to reach it. And it's our first overtime of the night. Let's see, will it be a kickoff goal, or will there be a little bit of time between them in this overtime? Oh.
Well, Mav gets a nice sidecar touch there, but it trickles down just a little bit too slowly. Forstar doing well to come back. Now reads that Mav's rotating back. Oh, gets a good touch there. Is going to pick it up. Doesn't even go for the side boost. Realized his mistake last time, but he doesn't manage to pull it back in time. Doesn't get the aerial touch either. That could have been the game for Forstar. Making a mistake there. He's going to be kicking himself for that.
If Forstar loses this game, he'll definitely kick himself for that one. He had boost advantage to go for the aerial shot, and also the shot on net was just wide. Now Mav going for this one, might put this one on. Oh, I thought he was going to pass that to himself from the back wall. And now let's see what's going to happen here. Forstar does have the boost, but Mav is there first. Good advantage for Mav. Ball is in the half of Forstar. Now Mav trying to give it a bit of a play, but Forstar denies him with a good save. Already 1 minute into overtime. This is a good shot on net. Mav will take this one very slowly, as we've come to know him now. Likes to play the slow, gets up game. Looking to pick up the boost that just spawned. He's going to put this one on his car, looking for the flick. Forstar's a bit out of position there, but manages to hold on.
Mav was so close to coming down on top of Forstar, and if he had there and knocked him out of that way, then it would have been game over, because that ball was on point. Forstar definitely favoring the slightly more aggressive dribbling style, you know, a bit of a of speed there. So all he has to do is get one touch right. Now the ball, there was a demo, but it has blown the ball to the other side of the field, trickling in as Mav somehow gets a goal from Demolition.
What happened here as a pinch and a demo works in favor of Mav? I think this is where Mav is just like, okay, I'll take it.
Oh, even Mav apologizing in chat going, that sucks, sorry. Realizing he didn't do anything to deserve that goal. And 4-Star, after having the open goal there, puts it wide, and Mav ends it and takes the first game on a pinched explosion shot from across the field.
It's quite an interesting term, pinch explosion shot. I think we should try and use that one more, especially in our games when we play and you see try to go especially for that. I think that'd be quite cool if it can become a skill.
Yeah, let's be honest, it's not one of those things you learn to predict. So, you know, if you can get it right, great. But 4-Star probably going to go for slightly more reliable means in the second game, considering there is only one more game for him to pull it back.
Indeed, as Mav now has the lead in the series. 1-0, best of 3, as it is, now 4-Star. And Mav kicking this one off again. Mav now having this first one. Will he go for the kickoff goal? Does have possession. 4-Star already picking up boost. Looking to have that aggressiveness in him once again. Mav being the slower, more meticulous player. Tries to get this one over forced, but he denies it. He does have the open net and he makes no mistake.
I get a feeling that 4-Star is probably going to try and be a little bit more clinical and make sure that he takes every opportunity that he can in this game. He doesn't want to make that mistake again. And a really nice dunk there. Great strategy where he didn't dive through it. All he did was jump into the air and put the side of his car towards Mav and said, you know what, if it hits me, great. Otherwise, he didn't like send himself flying into a wall or anything like that. That would have put him out of position. He could have very easily turned around after that and tried. Now he's left himself with a bit of risk. Mav, if he can get this round, get the angle right, does pinch it and actually puts it into the nose of 4-Star, who ends up putting it into the back of the net.
125 from that angle. It's pretty sick, coming from that pinch into the wall and then into the goal. Well done to Mav. I think he calculated that.
Oh yeah, definitely planned every bit of that. But it did, you know, the final goal tally doesn't ever show how the goals went into the back of the net. The scoreline does. 1-1 is our score. And 4-Star now wanting to just slow it down, see if he can bait out Mav a little bit. Gets a good touch, but Mav takes control of this. Now wants to go up. 4-Star going up for the 50-50 and does read it well off the nose of Mav. Now wants to try to push this. He's got Mav on the back foot. But Mav comes in for a risky play, and 4-Star actually may be able to take this. Does get a good touch up. Mav not able to push it to the side. 4-Star gets his lead back.
That 50 all started from the 50-50 before, was just saying, no, you're not going to take an easy shot at net, I'll 50-50 this, then gaining control. And after that, Mav tried to go in for a touch. He thought that there might be a flick coming in and puts himself out of position after his challenge. And well played from Force there, as we now have a winning kickoff here from Mav. And that must be, a little chip over 4-Star. It seemed like he tried to cover the right hand side of his nets, and Mav just like, nope, I'll just like knock it over you.
Guessing he didn't think he could get it in from that angle. 4-Star just underestimating Mav a little bit and trying to cover the cut back. Mav did fake it out a little bit where he looked like he wanted to go for the cut back across the goals. Instead, just puts it straight in and does it again now. Managing to read these angles very nicely from the sides of the goals.
And now Mav showing us why his slow, meticulous play is paying off. He goes quick at kickoffs, managed to get the kickoff goals very quickly, but other than that, his play is such a slow and his decision making is on point. As we now have a very neutral 50-50. Force deciding to stay with the ball, where Mav decided to pick up some boost, and let's see if it's going to pay off as he got the boost, got the dribble down, hits the back wall. Reverses, goes for another shot, and this time takes to make sure he'll put it in the back of the net.
This guy really enjoys his reversing, where a lot of people would have, you know, tried to cycle around and come and hit it after drifting or something like that. Mav just very calmly puts his car into reverse, backs it up a little bit, and gets a good shot on. Now gets a 2-goal lead with 3 minutes 30 left, and 4-Star lets this bounce off his top bar.
Doing the cheeky kickoff where he just waits for his opponent to hit it. Doesn't always work, but when it does, he'll take it. We now see Mav going for a double touch. Just missing a touch there, and we have Forstad having an open net here. Would he manage to put it in? It does put it a bit to the side, hits the corner. As Mav now wins the 50-50. Now he has an open net opportunity. Forstad actually manages to get there in time, but does get wrecked in the process. And this one is gonna go in if... A little bit payback from the earlier game.
I like it though, I must admit. Forstad actually get demoed by Mav, and Mav just took too long to get back to that ball. You would have thought he would have been able to cut that off a little bit sooner, but now Forstad, you know, he missed that open goal this game again, and you can't do that when you're two goals down, let alone a game and 2 goals down. Now Mav trying again to reverse this in. Forstad managing to survive. Mav, no boost though. Forstad dribbling it very well. That ball was glued to his car as he shoves it down and manages to get the equalizer.
Even though Mav did pick up that boost there, it was way too late as Forstad had an open road to the empty net. And now the scores are tied. 2 minutes 34 still remaining in this match. They are very equal to skill as we've seen in the previous game as well, going to overtime. And I'm curious to see whether or not Mav or Force are going to take this. And, if Force manage to take it, it will also mean we're going into a game 3.
It'll be very interesting to see. Now Mav has actually put himself out of position. Doesn't have a lot of boost, but doesn't manage to do enough. Forstad now going for this. Mav reverse backflips again and gets the shot onto the goal.
Brilliant recovery there from Mav. You can see here, gets it down, decides, this guy's not going to beat me to this. He probably doesn't have boost. I'm just going to turn around and take a quick shot. And it worked out in the end. Takes that 1 goal lead once again. And let's see another kickoff coming in on the 2-minute mark. And this is one again, very neutral. Mav does have the advantage though. But Forstad denies it. Mav going to pick up some boost. Force, I don't think he's got a lot of boost in the tank. Mav does miss it. If he takes a quick shot at net, he might be able to get there. Mav, he gets demo, but he's still too far away. That's the equalizer in 1 minute 50 seconds remaining in this match.
Forstad doing very, very well. You know, when he gets a breakaway, he's very quick on it. I have noticed that is where Mav prefers that slow play to build it up. Forstad is really, really good about capitalizing on mistakes. He sees an open ball and he goes for it. Now he's going for this. And Forstad has to actually do a lot of work. Does try to push it up, and Mav just has to push back towards his own net while Forstad retreats for a bit of boost. Now coming in from the side, Mav has good control, but Forstad times it perfectly. Gets it bouncing out into the center. Pushes it to the left-hand side, trying to make something in here towards these orange goals.
Oh, Mav getting the save. He's going to try and read this from the wall, but Forstad, as we know him from now, reading the walls very good. 50-50, one there by Force. And we now see Mav on the wall. Gonna wait patiently, maybe trying to bait Forstad out, and it didn't really help as Forstad faked it. Now Mav comes in, clears it from his net. He does have a shot at net if he decides to go to the corner. Maybe he can get that double touch read. Of course, really again reads very well from the corner or from the back wall. Back flips. And Needle will try to dribble this one past Mav. Mav goes for 50-50 onto the left side wall. Oh, that's
drops down to the center. Mav takes a really quick shot there to the right hand side. Forstad doing well to get back for that. Now puts it up and puts it to the left hand corner. Knows he doesn't have anything there. Manages to steal the boost though from Mav, and is now making tracks back to his side of the field. Mav is hot on his heels. He's going to pick up the center boost. And Forstad slows it down, pushes it towards the wall, and is looking for a nice chip over Mav. Mav times it well though and sends it scurrying to the other side of the field.
As you mentioned, the quick shot there from Mav, something I haven't really seen from these players, are taking those quick shots on net. You have that open opportunity that you're just getting there quickly, but this is the game. 3 seconds remaining. Mav puts it ahead after the unlucky 50-50 where Force was just below Mav. Mav bullying it over him and puts it in. He already calls out the GGs, the well played there. And let's see, there's 3 seconds left. Maybe you can get a good kickoff here. Game's not over until the buzzer rings. And this one goes fit up. Oh, and Mav says, no ways are you going to beat me with that kickoff.
Well played to both of these players there. Foamy is going... Foamy was out first, and now Forstart really must be hurting inside because he missed that open goal in the first game in overtime that made him lose that. And in this game, he also missed an open goal. And those two things where he had done all the hard work and let it go at the very, very end, have cost him his position here tonight. Well played to Mav, though. His slow, methodical play style actually did come up really, really well tonight, just waiting for Forstart to make the mistakes and capitalizing upon them. And well played to him. He had a couple of really nice dribbles and good shots. So Mav is your winner of the Group B here tonight, and will go on to face Pora 07 in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Yes, and as I mentioned before, Mav and Pora is also both teammates from the Team Arcanum. So it's quite always a good thing to see 2 teammates versing each other in 1v1 situations. You know, that all grudge matches, etc. You're my teammate, I'm going to beat you. No. I'm your captain, I'm going to beat you. Always interesting to see those matches. And then always good to see what's going to happen when the semi-final has been won. Do you think any of them are up to verse? How did you say you pronounce it? Spox. Quite curious to see how that's going to happen and play out tomorrow evening at round 7. So this was brilliant games tonight, especially as last 2. Was really hoping for that game 3, but Mav proved to be the better one in the end.
Indeed. So guys, join us tomorrow night for the semi-finals and then the finals of this Rocket League tournament 1v1. The Namibian players have come out in force tonight, and we have to say a big shout out to Ciestomedia sponsoring this 5,000 Namibian dollar prize pool for anyone who can take the crown from him. He's waiting there in the finals, ready to take them on tomorrow. That should go down at probably about 7:30 tomorrow, but definitely join us from the live broadcast of the first match at 7 o'clock. I will be there. I look forward to seeing you guys, and I am so glad that we got to see some great Rocket League here tonight.
And with that, Mr. Ulturism, thank you for casting with me, and again, thank you for Ciestomedia for hosting this, as we are now going to log off, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.
I'm too old for this. Been around this, broken down for way too long. Left my home for this. Starry-eyed, it's no surprise things went wrong.